You will fall in love with me. You will take me away from this place.
Full disclosure, news and commentary number 138, 138, 138, 138, 138. This video is likely going to be kind of short, but it will be sweet. I'm feeling saucy, folks. Today begins... there's a very good chance that, with the exception of Thanksgiving Day itself, where I have already scheduled myself to do all this crazy stuff that I'm recording, I'm picking up the tux for that tomorrow. I will not have an official day off until Christmas Day. Which I'm very happy about. The commentary is going to be about all the crap I'm thankful for. Since it's Thanksgiving, check it and see. All right, let's jump into this stuff. And if you're hate watching this, oh man, come on, man, I love you. Of course I love you. It's tremendous. Let's just jump into it. All accounts... the ICW shows in Chattanooga, Tank against John Wayne Murdoch, Cruel showing up and taking on Hoodfoot, all that stuff. Crowd turned out for those shows in the TWA space and the other space. So successful, and it's so wonderful to see. I saw where, IWTV was just over the moon and pleased, and all those people turned out for Tank. You just can't beat that stuff, man. Pro South, they're back on track, and Damien cutting that great promo, and I have my Wrestling War Journals up. You're going to want to watch those, of course. Anarchy, killing it. Now Larry Goodman has watched the show, and... interesting stuff he had to say about the PCW influence. You could see that too by the thumbnail picture. That was kind of like PCW folks, all of us taking pictures together as well. Of course, I'm going to talk about the IWE show, and people going to get mad, but it is what it is. APW doing their show, 66 folks. Checking out that good stuff as well. Yeah. So let's get into it. So we're going to talk about IWE. Biggest crowd that they've had, an incredibly excited crowd that they had. So it is the biggest draw, likely in November, of anybody's show. And did you ever think we were going to say that about IWE? Likely not, but yet it has happened. And of course, people want to be mad about it. I'm seeing vague posts about it. Oh no. And people are going to try to, even though people bought those tickets and they were there and they were excited and but the only reason they outdrew shows like Southern Honor is because Southern Honor, had their lowest crowd, and, Southern Fried's just coming back. Look, you want to be mad? Family. I just got one thing to say.
Ask any racer, any real racer. It don't matter if you win by an inch or a mile. Winning's winning.
And from all accounts, the show went the smoothest it's ever gone. Not that there weren't snafus. I mean, White Mike getting that gash on the top of his head. Dude cleaned up, so he wasn't able to come out for the end of that match. So the exotic youth retained over the Ugly Ducklings, basically taking them on 3-on-2. But White Mikey, he got cleaned up. Everybody made sure he was okay. Shout outs to Lee. She took great care of him. And they got him. He got 4 staples in his hand. Dunk, 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 dunk. And he was back. What the hell? And then they had plane flight problems with Hammerstone because a gun went off at the Atlanta airport. So he was just stuck on his plane on the ground for 3 hours. But they got him there so he could do a spot at the end of the show. But and Sonny, I got a lot of messages about what I said about Sonny. So let me just say, I used some really harsh language to describe who she was. And, you called Sonny a cunt. And I think that was out of line. And I could understand people wanting to say that. But to the people who are really upset about what I said about that cunt Sonny,
fuck you too!
I'm having fun putting these dumb clips in. Because I saved something. I have this folder called Great Clips, and I never, ever get to use this stuff. And so a number of people who were there at the show got to see me go like ballistic, which I haven't done in a long time, but I really care about this shit, and I'm really proud of IWE, and of course I'm proud of PCW, and I'm proud of Anarchy, and all these places that are definitely doing great stuff here at the end of the year. It's a lot of pressure on the shows that are going to do shows in December, but man, IWE is definitely making its case. But when you're doing better, and you're doing well, expectations go way up. But I don't know. I mean, how I feel about that.
I'm so excited! I'm so scared!
The stupid clips abound. What can I tell you? The stupid clips abound. It's just what we're doing today. It's okay. It's okay. When the guys pull together like that, and again, Tim, who runs IWE, is so gracious. They was catered, and everybody was taken care of really well, and the fans were happy, and it's just really wonderful. But people want to be really mad about it, and I just find that really strange. I just find it really strange that for all, like, and there's wrestling people in general who always talk about, we want, it's good, wrestling right now is doing really well, and we should celebrate in that. But that only applies when it's you. And when it's somebody else who's doing well, people get really upset about it. The fact that there are vague posts about it, the fact that people feel the need to try to besmirch it, the fact that anybody would try to badmouth me, like nitpicking about stuff that I said to try to get me into some kind of trouble. How does it, I mean, it does beg the question, like, how does that make me feel when people are talking about me and people are trying to give me credit for stuff and all that? Well, I mean, unlimited power. Love it, love it, love it, love it. A couple clips I want to show you. My favorite WWE thing of the week was just a reminder, they released all of Hit Row, which to me tells me like the number one thing that the difference right now between WWE and AEW, deathmatch wrestling, and independent wrestling in general is the cool factor. Like, and people can debate about Hit Row, and the usual smearing goes on about attitude problems and all the rest of this kind of nonsense, which seems to be the new. You get the you get the triple threat. Best of luck in your future endeavors, right? That always comes. Budget cuts is because of budget cuts, and then they leak the story. They were a headache. Talent trumps all of that nonsense. And they don't know how to recognize talent, and they sure don't know what's cool. Take a look at just this little thing of just Hit Row looking frickin' cool as hell. And then my favorite, like, Ishii, Japanese wrestler of some note, but I would say most Americans probably don't know who he is. Even AEW fans don't know who he is. But listen and see this spot with Ishii and the Butcher and how the crowd gets into it. I just find this stuff really, really cool.
That got him.
Yeah, that's the first time we've seen Ishii drop.
Yeah, that buckled his knees that time, Excalibur.
And those chops to the chest. Ishii is going down.
Really, really cool stuff. Really, really great stuff. I am, the comedians have a saying, like when you're doing your stand-up somewhere and it's going over like gangbusters, they call it emptying your notebook. And so I'm emptying my cool clips and like dusting them off. It's just to really mentally get myself in a space where I remember to use this stuff. It's cool. It's cool. It's cool. So, all right, let's get into what I'm thankful for. I'm thankful for, this is going to sound crazy because I'm going to start on the front end. I'm going to take these glasses off. I'm thankful that people send me stuff. I'm wearing crap in a hat. Yeah. Diana Michelle, saw her, wonderful to see her. And she hooked me up with a shirt right away. I'm thankful I can fit in a large. I'm thankful that my arms are getting bigger. I'm thankful that my gut is getting smaller. I'm thankful that I have a steady job in addition to all of the side hustle stuff that I do. I'm thankful that I'm about to turn 50. The classmates that I graduated with, many of whom I'm still in contact with, which is crazy too, right? They're turning 50. And so I'll wish them a happy birthday, usually privately. You'll notice that I don't publicly tend to do that stuff. If I'm down with you, I'm sending you a text or a message or calling you. Like, I don't know. I'm old, and clearly I'm old. I'm almost 50. I'm thankful that there's other people, peers that I see, people who are around my age who just look like dippity-doo dog shit. And I still think I look pretty fucking good. And in fact, where people at my new job find out that I'm fucking 49, almost 50, they can't believe it. That feels great. It feels good, all the trials and tribulations that I went through. I mean, during COVID, I had to fucking spend time in jail. I had to dig my way out of all of that. I had to fucking fight because they kept putting stuff off, and which meant I couldn't get my life in order. I was, struggling to find a job because every time a background thing would pop up. I'm thankful that the people who tried to fuck me over all of it seem to be fucking terrified of me. It's fucking wonderful. It's fucking wonderful. Because at the end of the day, what I found out is I can't be broken. I have limits tested all of the time. And I'm fully confident in who I am. And the changes that I decide I need to make, I have the will in which to make them. It's why that article by Jeff G. Bailey, or that thing that he wrote about his like weight loss, it was very meaningful to me. And then seeing Matthew Hankins, man, and seeing the weight loss of that dude. But those are symptomatic, right? That it's not just that those guys lost weight. It's that those guys made a discernible choice, right? And I'm proud to be friends with those guys. I'm proud that I'm able to help at IWE. Because Tim has a vision and he cares. And I'm proud to be associated with those people. I'm proud that Eric the World Walker showed up and then I was able to help enlist him to help them do their tech stuff. And then Tim is the kind of guy that's just like, and if you want to, you know what? Do the dark match before we start the show. And it's like, who could he wrestle? And then I knew Irving and Rip were coming down. So I'm like, could he wrestle Irving? Sure. Like, dude. And then those guys keep it simple and fucking kill it and get a huge reaction for a dark match. Pride, right? I'm glad that there's people who make me fucking look good, frankly. Not that I need the help. I'm thankful that my kids fucking rule, because I hear about other people's kids and often there's always some kind of, yeah, my kid's fine, but I don't have the conjunction. My kids are great and they're wonderful. And I'm going to get to see them before I go to work today. And we're going to record some crazy stuff that they want to actively do, that I want to actively do. We're going to record this crazy, the Nightmare Game Thanksgiving edition thing. I mean, it's ridiculous, right? I'm thankful for, the stuff that I love. I'm thankful for frickin' Lone Wolf and Cub comics and Martial Laws comic. I would love to have martial law. People are loosely beginning to ask me, like, what's something that you would want me to send you for? Like, dude, if you can find any kind of martial law shirt, I want it. I used to have one, but I don't think they make them anymore. But people are better at tracking that crap than I am. So if you can find something, please send it my way. I would love it. I'm thankful for Blood In, Blood Out. I'm thankful for all the movie stuff. I'm thankful for the yet unfinished projects that I have. I have like food review stuff that I need to do. And I have like this song idea thing that I've needed to enact. But it didn't go well when I tried to put it together. But then I thought of the solution and then I've tested it since and it does work. So now I can start cranking that stuff out too. I'm behind on the gaming stuff, but I have my next projects lined up. And it's just, I'm thankful that I've got all of these ways and all of these outlets. If you haven't figured it out, it's who I am. I know who I am. I'm a guy who always is going to produce shit and be involved in pro wrestling. And I'm going to talk my fucking shit about pro wrestling. And there's a number of people who are smart enough to know that I know what the fuck I'm talking about. And then there's other people who pretend that they know what they're talking about. And are slowly coming to the realization that at the end of the day, their opinions don't really count for a whole lot. But it's because their heart isn't in the right place. And so their mind is also not in the right place. There's lots of people who give advice. But the advice is shit. Because they're coming from a place of pure self-interest. Purely. And I'm thankful that I don't live that way. That for all of my rough edges, and goodness knows there are a million of them, it all stems from I give a fuck. And I'm proven right more often than not. But I also understand that I'm fallible and I make mistakes and I'm still willing to modify. I'm thankful that, got the kids and they're wonderful. And I'm thankful that all of these trials and tribulations that, between family and friends, I get by with a little help from my friends. And I'm thankful that the next year is shaping up to be a really, really good one. But there's still going to be challenges and there's still going to be bullshit. I'm thankful that the landscape of pro wrestling on a national scale has shifted because it's a long time coming. And I'm thankful that it's shifting in the state of Georgia in a big way. And if you refuse to recognize that, I don't know what to tell you. I'm thankful that each one of those categories for Georgia Wrestling History Awards is going to be highly, highly competitive and that people are going for it this year, except for Manager of the Year, who is Matthew Hankins. It is. And there's not a close second. And I'm thankful that that dude's in my life. And I'm thankful that his, at the time, fat ass sat in the front row of a PCW show and fell in love, and that he contacted me first. And that has struck a very beautiful friendship and a very fortuitous thing for Georgia wrestling in general. I'm thankful that in the last year or two, I've become good friends with Ron Nemi. It's something that I never imagined was going to happen, but it's been so delightful. And to see Ron, to know that Ron, Larry Goodman, Jeff G. Bailey, Dan, Tank, we're all in the same place, same time, reveling in their success and making wrestling a much more interesting and a smarter place to be, doing quality work. I'm thankful that Jeff got that writing bug and wrote that fucking great hot seat thing for Tank, and that he's excited about doing stuff in the future. Jeff and I talk about this all the time, and I meant what I said in my article. Fuck. I know shit, and I'm going to express it.
Hey, what should I change? He's the one who sucks.
Because I can't let the dumb fucks who constantly express themselves.
Hey, what should I change? He's the one who sucks.
Who, by the way, are getting diminishing returns.
Hey, what should I change? He's the one who sucks.
On the things that they message and post. Whereas my shit steadily increases in influence, in money, Patreon signups.
Hey, what should I change? He's the one who sucks.
People who feel that... Because the shit that I'm interested in writing and the videos I'm interested in putting out, they're not just about wrestling. And if you don't understand that yet, you probably won't for a long time, if ever.
Hey, what should I change? He's the one who sucks.
I'm thankful for all the stuff that I enjoy doing. I'm thankful that people send me shit. I'm thankful to be working so damn much. And in a position where I can consult people. I'm thankful that Diana Michelle comes up right away and gives me a damn shirt and a hug. I'm thankful for the post-show thing at IWE, where I'm sitting there with Exotic Youth and Skrilla and fucking Amber Nova, and just me and Amber Nova just chopping it up. Fuck, we barely talked to anybody else. We just focused on each other and talked about wrestling and the landscape and what's going down. I'm thankful that Ben Buchanan is fucking killing it at NXT. And then I'm thankful that he's going to get to come home and enjoy himself with his family. I think it's really wonderful. In short, shit's great. It's really great. What am I thankful about? I'm thankful that I have a platform, that a number of people have encouraged me to do this, and my kids have helped me do it. I'm thankful that I've got the platform, because part of the point of this platform is to illuminate. Wrestling, one weakness that it has always had, it is completely full of its own shit. And that's not to say that I'm infallible. That's not to say that sometimes I'm not full of my own shit. But at the end of the day, pro wrestling in general and pro wrestling in Georgia and Florida are better for having me in it. And if I were to die tomorrow, Omega forbid, if I were to die tomorrow, I know I've made my mark. And I know the influence always remains. Even when I read a report from Larry Goodman and he uses phrases and expressions and techniques that I've discussed in the past, I know that influence continues. When people come up, here is the weirdest experience. Here's the weirdest two experiences of the last week. Somebody coming up at my new job and recognizing me for the gaming shit, which is a definite first. And then people wanting to take pictures with me at IWE. And people who I know didn't like me. That was even crazier. What the fuck? I love it. And I'm thankful. And I'm thankful I am who I am. Lots of people have podcasts that they give up on. But Larry and I are currently trying to figure out how we can continue to do tipping points, even though I worked during that. Like, we've been going for more than 7 years, motherfuckers. This is full disclosure 138. Keeps on going. I'm thankful that when I've noted that people were absolutely wrong about shit, that it bears itself out. I'm thankful that fucking, here's a cool bit of info. So like, David Ali and I have this fucking great conversation. And then, and then he's like, oh, I'm going to Orlando. I get a bus ticket and shit. And I'm like, well, fuck, I'll just take you. And he's like, oh, I already fucking paid for the goddamn ticket. But we make arrangements. So fucking January 8th, I'm fucking taking that guy. And you know what he said to me? Yeah, man, fucking 6-hour trip and we'll just fucking talk about wrestling. And he was fucking excited. And I was fucking excited about that. It's fucking great. The kids are all right. And if you look at any of those people who are going to be up for Wrestler of the Year, Joe Black, Michael Judas, David Ali, they're all completely different from one another. And they have their own viewpoints. And they'll have their own advocates. But it's fucking wonderful. I get to do IWE. I get to get paid to get there. And then Matt Hankins shows up with fucking Shane Marks and Brian Blaze. And it's amazing. And then the new crop of guys who are working with Hankins. I'm glad that there's a fucking Matt Hankins there, man. And whatever influence I have over the whole thing, fucking great. The fact that even people who don't like me have me in their mind's eye. That they have to factor me in when they're considering whatever bullshit thing they're going to want to lie about or dumb thing they're going to want to say. I'm glad that I can be the bottom of Kohlberg's morality pyramid to these fucking pieces of shit. I'm glad that there are pieces of shit who have had to get out of the wrestling business in the last year or two. Wrestling is better for it. I'm glad. And I'm thankful. But of course I'm thankful for you, for listening, reading, commenting, hate watching, all of it. Just getting started, motherfuckers. Gonna keep this thing going, motherfuckers. I'll say this too. This is full disclosure. That's how I close traditionally. But I'm emptying out my video clips. So this one goes out to the motherfuckers who wished ill for me. And now it's probably dawning on you that I can't be broken. And you can be broken all too easily. Wrestling is going to keep going. And I say this to people all the time. There's a good chance I was involved in this shit long before you got here. And I'll be involved with it long after you leave. And allow me to give this to you, oh people of the fucking negative ilk. This has been Full Disclosure. Happy Thanksgiving.